Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition, 2020, Review. The Razer Blade 15 is a mainstay among gaming laptops, the trailblazer for a category of thin and attractive mobile machines of the 2010s. The competition has caught up in many ways, but the premium look and feel of the classic Blade 15 design is still top class. The 2020 version of the Blade 15 Advanced Edition starts at $2,599, $2,999 as tested, boasts mainly internal upgrades. Our pricey review unit includes an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Super, Max-Q, GPU and a 300Hz display, while some smaller tweaks iteratively improve the design. The performance doesn't stand a level above competitors, but none can quite match the combination of aesthetics and performance together. If you have deep pockets, you'll enjoy its definitively premium feel, power, and long battery life, but the editor's choice Asus ROG Zephyrus SGX 502 is a better value, and the Acer Predator Triton 500 delivers similar performance for less. The proven blade design, with some tweaks. This 2020 update is mostly internal component upgrades and modest exterior tweaks, so most of what you're seeing is the tried and tested Blade 15 design of past models. It's still a sleek, portable chassis that feels high quality thanks to its fully machined aluminum build. The Blade 15 is consistently one of our favorite gaming laptop designs, and while others have caught up to this trendsetter, it's still one of the most premium options available. My only design quibble is an ongoing one with the lid logo. The logo remains lime green, but I much prefer the understated black-on-black etched version used on the latest version of the company's Blade 13 Stealth. While I know Razer wants to stay loyal to its long-serving symbol, I can't help but feel the color choice clashes with the sleek all-black look and undermines the style. In terms of build, Razer didn't prioritize thinness above all here, since the extra few millimeters are worth way more in terms of thermals and performance than they are in portability. Many manufacturers have relaxed unrelentless trimming as the main goal, in some cases even slightly increasing thickness. For laptops that aim for top-end power, it's a worthwhile trade-off. More specifically, the Blade 15 Advanced model measures 0.7 by 14 by 9.25 inches, HWD, and weighs 4.73 pounds, which is slightly heftier than, and about the exact size of, the 2019 version. That doesn't make it the lightest slim gaming laptop, in part due to the metal chassis, with the Acer Predator Triton 500, 4.63 pounds. The Asus ROG Zephyrus SGX 502, 4.55 pounds, and the 14-inch Asus ROG Zephyrus G14, 3.52 pounds, weighing in at less. Even the dual-screen Asus ROG Zephyrus Duo 15 manages to be lighter, which is admirable on its part. These are ultimately all in the same tight weight class. And we do love the ROG Zephyrus G14 size and style and the ROG Zephyrus Duo 15's innovation, but the Blade 15 still retains its place as a top-notch build. The 2020 Blade 15 Advanced model does have some physical changes, though. Chief among them is a slightly updated keyboard layout, which we saw reflected in the most recent Blade 13 Stealth, too. The older layout featured full-size arrow keys, which necessitated a half-length shift key on the right side. I can speak from experience that this unusual design made me often hit the up arrow when I was intending to reach for shift, and it was a common enough issue that Razer has heeded the cries of its users and changed it to a more standard layout. The new design shrinks the arrow keys in favor of a full-sized shift key on that side since they're lesser used keys for most users anyway, and it fixes the mishit problem. Otherwise, the keyboard is very comfortable to type on, if slightly on the shallow travel side, and each key is individually backlit with customizable lighting. The touchpad also remains best in class, among the most comfortable to use on any Windows laptop, with extremely smooth panning and a quality feel. There are some additional external changes in the form of ports. The 2020 version includes a UHS 3 SD card reader, as well as USB Type-C ports that support charging, in addition to the power jack and brick that charge the laptop. In total, the Blade 15 includes 2 USB Type-C ports, one with Thunderbolt 3 support, and both with 20V PD 3.0 charging, 3 Type-A USB 3.1 ports, an HDMI connection, and the SD card reader. That's a generous mix. Component check, blazing fast display and high-end parts. There's one more major physical change on our model, and while it is one you can very much see, you'd be forgiven for not noticing it on first look. The Full HD, 1920 by 1080 pixel, display now boasts a blistering fast 300Hz refresh rate, a feature that began making its way into a batch of high-end gaming laptops this year. It's certainly a feature for enthusiasts, since only hardcore competitive gamers even seek out 120Hz or 144Hz displays. A 300Hz refresh rate kicks it up a major notch, and, while you may see diminishing returns as you get above, say, a 144Hz screen, you can really benefit from the upgrade in competitive multiplayer games with low visual fidelity. Higher frame rates mean smoother gameplay, though the GPU and processor need to be able to push a game that high. We'll see how the new Blade 15 is able to perform in these scenarios a bit later in the performance section, but first let's see what we're working with. The Blade 15 technically comes in 2 flavors, the Base Edition and Advanced Edition. As mentioned, ours is the latter, and they are technically different laptops due to differences in both chassis and internal design. The Base Edition starts at $1,599, a much more affordable entry point, but we're focusing here on the more premium Advanced Edition. The Advanced Edition starts at $2,599, and with that you get an Intel Core i7-10875H processor, 16GB of memory, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super, Max-Q, GPU, a 512GB SSD, and a 300Hz Full HD display. Our review configuration is the next step up, which is $2,999 for the same processor, memory capacity, and display, but an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Super, Max-Q, GPU and a 1TB SSD. There are 2 more content creator-focused versions above ours that include professional features like a 4K display and/or a Quadro GPU. But our tester machine is at the reasonable pinnacle for PC gamers, so let's see how our configuration performed. Performance testing, competing at the top level. For the sake of performance comparisons, I pitted the 2020 Blade 15 against some equivalent competition. These are all 15-inch screen laptops that fall somewhere within the high-end price range, all over $2,000, varying by the particular configurations we received for review at the time. You can find their names and specs in the table below. It's worth noting that the other Blade 15 used in these comparisons is the OLED screen-bearing version that came out a bit later in 2019, rather than the first model launched last year. It was chosen because its processor was updated from the first 2019 model and it matches the GPU in the 2020 version, and so is more relevant here. You can attribute a large part of its extra-large price tag to the gorgeous OLED screen. Productivity, storage, and media tests. PC Mark 10 and 8 are holistic performance suites developed by the PC benchmark specialists et al., formerly FutureMark. The PC Mark 10 test we run simulates different real-world productivity and content creation workflows. We use it to assess overall system performance for office-centric tasks such as word processing, spreadsheet jockeying, web browsing, and video conferencing. PC Mark 8, meanwhile, has a storage subtest that we use to assess the speed of the system's boot drive. Both tests yield a proprietary numeric score, Higher numbers are better. See more about how we test laptops. The 10th generation Intel processor does well here in a close run contest, with the Triton 500 pulling ahead. The 2020 Blade 15 is plenty capable at multitasking, though this test really serves as confirmation of the minimum expectations for a laptop of this caliber. It's fully capable of everyday multitasking given its game-ready components, and can certainly serve as your general use machine. The SSD is snappy, as well, which will make both your files and games load faster. Next is Maxon's CPU crunching Cinebench R15 test, which is fully threaded to make use of all of it.